Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the UK's biggest running live stream on YouTube. I just made that up, and we've already had a technical failure. Talk amongst yourselves. How's everybody doing? Let me know in the comments. I'm already seeing it light up, which is lovely to see. So good evening. Yes, welcome to BITESIZE, our Monday live stream, the UK's biggest running live stream on YouTube. And this show, we just hang out, talk about, well, anything you want to, really. Talk about running shoes. We can talk about the big half. We can talk about, I don't know, running around with no top on. Whatever you want to do, we can talk about it tonight. This is a safe place for us all to discuss anything. Hopefully some of it's running related. I'm wearing my Boston hat today, mainly because the Hobbit's back from his holiday. That's his 8th holiday this year. I've got to put my chair up, hang on. So he's back, and he's yes, I'm wearing that for him. I'm also wearing my Start Fitness Blade and Races t-shirt because this weekend we're off to Newcastle for the Great North Run. Is anybody doing that? Let me know. We've got a big shakeout run happening up there, first of its kind at the Great North Run. I'm not aware of any shakeout run that's ever been done. So we're what's the best way to making new ground or something like that? Anyway, we're doing something like that. But world's first on this weekend with the Great North Run shakeout run. Then we're all going to the pub, I think, and then they are. We've got the big meetup on Sunday. So if you don't know what the Great North Run is, maybe you're listening to this in Texas. The Great North Run is the biggest half marathon in the world. It's got 60,000 runners that take to the streets of Newcastle, and we smash the living daylights out of it. So good evening to anybody who's or good morning or wherever you're doing this and taking us out on your run with you. Thank you very much for taking us out on your run, because you can listen to this as a podcast, which is pretty cool. So thank you very much for taking us out with you and listening to that. We've got a Friday pre-record. If you are actually doing the Great North Run, make sure you listen to Friday's show, because that's a really good podcast. Because we take admin's never done the Great North Run, so we literally take it from leaving the train at Newcastle Station to getting back on that train in terms of the journey of the Great North Run, everything, all the ins and outs of it, including weeing at the start. So just to pre-warn you, anybody who's a little bit squeamish, I do discuss walking through puddles of urine. So that's something to look forward to. And that's on Friday. So we're not live on Friday because I'm basically heading up to Newcastle. So that's that. And then I'm going to see loads of you on the shakeout run. So there we go. It's been a busy couple of days at FORDY runs in terms of packages and things like that. Obviously, I've not done that much running. My goals have had to change leading up to Berlin. Because last week I had to take a few days off from running to try and recover, which kind of helped for the big half, but I really struggled out there, to be honest with you. It's quite frustrating for someone who has been so consistent in my running to have this sort of speed bump. To struggle in a race is hard to deal with, because I've not had to deal with that for a while. So but that's okay. That's part of the journey. So yes, so rest day for me today. Deliberately put a rest day in, trying to again manage the injury. I'm back to Monica on Thursday. Hopefully, if she ever replies to my message, and we'll do a few runs in the week and then build up according to that. So in terms of packages this week, by the way, if you're watching this live for the first time, thanks very much for joining us. I've seen the chat already light up, so that's awesome. We'll come on to everybody as we go through this. So get your questions in the live chat box. Get your questions in there. Whatever you want to talk about, just put them in. We'll go through them. I'll get to you guys in a minute. Got to give a shout out to all our members of the channel. Thank you very much for supporting 40 Rounds, and obviously all our subscribers, club members, everything. Lastly, I want to give a big shout out to our volunteers who are at the big half this weekend. They did an incredible job. Thank you very much for doing such an amazing job and representing 40 Rounds Running Club. We really appreciate it. So thank you. And St John's Ambulance, because I don't know whether you saw that on Instagram, nestled in all the pictures of me with no top on, but we helped a guy out who come unstuck at mile 12. He wasn't in a particularly good way. So we did that. And I would hope that somebody would do that for me if I was in a similar sort of way. And I mean, he was in a bad way. So that was that. The funniest thing with that story is that when he probably came round, because he was, as I say, he was in a bad way. I'm wondering if he's going to sit there and think to himself, was there two naked men helping me? Because me and Ben didn't have our tops on at the time. So I'm wondering whether he's going to look back and go, was that because I hit my head, or was there genuinely two naked men taking me to the side of the street and then pouring water over me and asking me questions? Interesting, isn't it? Anyway, so there we go. Right. So I think that's that. Should we talk about quickly shoes that we've got to play with at the moment? We'll come on to the other one in a minute. So we've got the Nike Structure 25, which looks boring. I'm going to leave it there. If you're new to Nike running shoes, this is their sort of mild guidance shoe. It is heavy, just as a pre-warning, and I think it looks terrible. But it's got a very good outsole on it. So I'm holding it up to the camera if you're listening to it on the podcast. That's the new Nike Structure 25. They came in last week. Yeah, so we'll get onto them when we do. Right, hang on. Surprise package, I would say. Surprise package was these. Adios 8. So I'm holding up the Adizero Adios 8. Has anybody got these? I'd be interested to know what you think about these. This is not a particular shoe that I really care for, but we'll give it a go. So let me know if this is something that floats your boat. The Adidas Adios 8. I'm probably not even going to put a review out on them unless you tell me otherwise. I'm just not going to bother really. I just can't be bothered because it's not really a shoe that I'm really into. I'd much rather run the Takumi Sen. But let me know in the comments or email in or whatever it is. Yeah, let me know. Do you want to see a review? Maybe we do a poll on this tomorrow, shall we? What do you think, guys? I don't know. So yeah, I'd be very interested to know what you think of the Adios 8. But yeah, we'll try that maybe. And then lastly, it's like doing a strength and conditioning session, holding these up. We have the Prime X Strung 2 or Prime X2 Strung is the right way to say it, which does weigh as much as this house. It is extremely heavy. It's over 11 ounces in my. Actually, I was just looking to see if I had it written down. It's not. I haven't got it written down. It's over 11 ounces in my UK and 9.5 fit to size. But what do we think of this monster? It's absolutely barking mad. There's 3 layers of Light Strike Pro going on in here and 2 carbon plates or carbon infused plates. Sorry. What do you think of it? Let me know. Anyone else go for these? I mean, so what's it load of money, isn't it? 250 quid for a pair of running shoes, really, when you think about it. That, all right, these are illegal, but they're also extremely heavy. My arm's aching just holding them up, by the way, if you're listening to this on the podcast. But I do think they look cool. So let's see. I think we'll put a first impressions out on them. We'll get 3 runs in them, and then we'll put first impressions out. And then I'm not going to bother just doing 1 run in them and then doing a video just for the sake of it, make it 11 minutes long. But we'll do 3 runs in them. Then I'll probably put a video out, give you some first impressions, and then we'll probably put some proper miles in them, and then give you more of a sort of overview of the Prime X2 Strung. I've seen the review from the Believe in the Run. So I'm fully aware of what Thomas has said about that. He was the one review I was waiting for. So I'm glad he's put that out. So there we go. I think that's it. I think you're up to speed. Have I missed anything else out? Great North Run this weekend. Berlin Shakeout Run. Make sure if you're coming to Berlin, you sign up for that. No, I think I've covered you all off, haven't I? Okay, right. So let's dive in. Let's get really to the best people, just talking to you guys. Evening, everybody. I'm gonna, if it's okay with you, miss out all the evenings. As much as I want to say good evening to you individually, it's just really kind of you. Thank you very much. Because the reason is because there was an early question even before we started and came on live on air. There was a question which I thought would be cool to pick up with. So here we go. Rizwan, probably apologies if I said that wrong. Hello, the Instagram post of you crossing the line at the big half was epic. Thank you very much. Any recommendations for a non-carbon plate race day shoe? If you're I've just seen your comment, David Turner. If you're not going for a time and you're going for to cruise, so time is not necessarily the ultimate factor for you. I would say that an ASIC Super Blast is not a bad shout. If you want something a bit firmer and a little bit sort of more racier feeling, maybe the Hyperion Max from Brooks that doesn't have a plate in it. So they're two different options for you. So check them two out. But I mean, the Super Blast at goal pace, marathon target pace. I remember when I was able to do that. That's a good shout. So check that out. I know you can pick them up a little bit cheaper. Some people have been messaging me saying they're picking them up cheap, and they last for a long time. Simon's got about 400 miles now. Mick, evening, Chris and everyone. Chris loving the strip finish yesterday. Yes, that was obviously. I think some people get a little bit annoyed by it. Some people say, "Oh, you're just doing it for attention." No, we didn't do it for attention. We did it because we are body positive people, and that's the message that we wanted to give out. We do these things for a reason, and let the haters hate. And yeah, we crack on. So there we go. That's why we did that. We was proud yesterday of what we did, and so there we go. We move on. Talking of which, Mike's wondering why I'm not topless tonight. I've already been told off. I won't be doing it again. Can you imagine what my kids said when I got home? It is hot, yes, and this weekend's going to be hot. So be careful out there, people. You're all adults. So I will leave that to you. Thank you, Gary. Sound of Vision apparently is on point, which is awesome. I don't know where all the sort of question thingies have gone. Maybe I did something in the background. Evening, Rob. Evening, Mark. Great pics from the big half. Yeah, fantastic. Oh, this is the best thing, right? So this is a story because Mark, well done, Mark. Well done for bringing this up. This is a cracking story. And it's true, Mark. You can testify to this. So, as some of you may or may not have seen, because you don't necessarily follow me on Instagram, maybe you're tuning in for the first time. But anyway, I took my vest off just after mile 12, and I was running down the finish. Ben and I planned to do that at the start because it's a warm day, and as I say, we're all about body positivity. Yeah, as you guys know, hopefully now on this channel, I've gone past caring. So we done that, and I finished, and we got our medals, and we took the 3-hour walk to go and get the t-shirt. But this year with the t-shirts, you had to show on your bib like this sticker to show that what size t-shirt you wanted. Now I didn't think of that because I'm an idiot, and I actually took mine because when I finished, Ben got his bag and got changed and stuff like that, and I actually took my race number off because it's one of the first things I take off because I can't stand having race numbers on. Usually, I actually have them on my leg, but I had actually on my t-shirt this time, and so I took it off, and I didn't even think about it. I just screw it up. I had some other bits of rubbish, and I looked for a bin, and I threw them in the bin. So I went round to the t-shirts, and I went through, and I went up to the geezer, and I said, "Oh yeah, oh no, some girl she wouldn't give it to me." And then I thought, it's a bit odd. Maybe she's just being weird. And maybe she just don't like the YouTube channel, which I get a lot. And then I moved on to this next guy, and he wouldn't give me the t-shirt. And I was like, "Why aren't you giving me the t-shirt?" And he went, "You ain't got a race bib on." I went, "Yeah, but I've done it. I had the medal around my neck, right?" And he went, "Yeah, but you haven't got your race number. And on your race number, it tells you whether you got a t-shirt or no t-shirt." And I went, "Oh yeah, I was meant to keep that." So long story short, there was a lovely lady who was working with him. She came up and went, "I'll let you have your t-shirt if I can have a selfie for my boyfriend because he's a fan of the channel." So the only reason I was able to get a t-shirt at the big half was because this lovely young lady, her boyfriend, watches the YouTube channel. Brilliant. So there we go. Long story short, got there in the end. Looking forward to my first post summer holiday running in the morning. Oh yeah, because the kids are back to school. So who else has gone out and started running because the kids have gone back? Mark's looking forward to the Great North Run. First visit to Newcastle. You're going to love it. The people of the Northeast are incredible. Mick is looking forward to see us on Saturday. I think hopefully you're coming to the Shakeout Run. Bam Bam's jealous. He smashed the life out of the big half yesterday. You just rest up, easy boy. You've got Loch Ness to worry about. Gav's listening. Good evening, FORDY and the army. Gary's been trying Active Root. That works well. I'd fully recommend that if you have stomach issues, I would say. Stuff repeats on you. That kind of thing. Have a look at the Active Root stuff. Can't recommend it enough. David Turner. Yep, Dave will see you there. It was tough in that weather yesterday. I don't know if that played a part. As I say, I just aerobically, I just didn't feel like I had nothing, and also my mind, I wasn't really on top game, top form. I don't know. It was a funny old one. It really was. Robert Hallam, good evening, Robert. Question: running Chicago, been away for 3 weeks, up to 18 miles before some treadmill running while away. Obviously missed some long runs. What should be my longest run now, and how far out? Uh, I would, you've got what, 4 or 5 weeks to Chicago, something like that. Try and get yourself 3.5 hours on feet. I think that'll probably do you. Something about that. No point going over that, but yeah, 3.5 hours, somewhere around that. See how you find out, and you get on with that. But you got up to 18 miles, so that's all good. Whether you want to take on 20 miles, you can, and then taper. It's up to you. So see how you get on. But yeah, I think you got this weekend, following weekend, right? And then you can start the taper. So maybe try and do something along those lines. But I wouldn't worry too much about it, Robert. You've got some baseline fitness. I don't know what your goal is for Chicago. But like anything, just like even myself, I've had to reset my goals, right? So just see how you get on. Go to feel, go to listen to your body, and go from there. Is the key. But yeah, look, 3.5 hours, something like that, probably do you just fine. Alf, howdy partners, howdy to you. I tell you what's really cool on TikTok. I think I said this on the podcast on Friday. You can watch your bull riders and stuff on TikTok. I'm addicted to it. Okay, Chris. 2 things to thank me for. Oh Christ, this could get bad. ASIC Super Ass. Yes. Okay, I'll take that one. And the Kendall Mint gels. Okay. Also hate taking gels until I tried these. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good shout, actually. The Kendall Mint gels are very, very good. And I like them because they're a little bit more liquidy based. And they just work for me. I would recommend them again if you suffer a little bit with stuff that repeats on you. Might be worth trying. They seem to be a little bit easier because the mint, it's got that natural anti-inflammatory property to it. I don't know if it's the right word or not. But try them. You don't all have to use cis gels, or you don't all have to remortgage your house and buy Morton because Kipchoge uses them. Okay, there's loads of other products out there. Steve, any tips for staying cool before a race? I've got big half this weekend. Staying cool before. Have a look at your warm up. Do a nice casual warm up, mate. Maybe don't go as mad in it. Cheeky little thing to try and find. Sounds obvious, but in a pen, try and find the shade. Also, wet towel. Maybe something you're happy to throw away, like a wet a snood or something like that. Wet it in the toilets. I know the water may be slightly warm, but if you can, and then lay it over your neck. It's another little thing over your wrists as well. It's a good shout. Evening 40. Hello from Team SLGR. What's that? Let me know, Jonathan. What's that? Oh, moving on. James Wicks. Evening, Chris. How stable are the Nimbus 25? Getting sick of my old waving spires. I only need support on longer runs. So think about something more cushioned. Then I would look at the Super Blast. I think that's a very stable ride. There's nothing wrong with the Nimbus 25. But I would say you would probably be better if you're looking for a long run shoe. I would probably go with the Super Blast. It's a wide platform. It's a very wide platform. Rob G, what's the best way to get a place at next year's GNR? Well, obviously you've got the ballot. And then maybe if you can't get into that, then try charity. There's some charities out there. They ain't over the top in terms of sponsorship for GNR. Then some of them aren't as ridiculous. If you shop about a bit, you can find a charity that's not so crazy as some of the others. Matt Nash, have you heard whether there will be a Glide Ride 4? Apparently no, but I haven't got that confirmed. In terms of the ASICS Glide Ride 4, people have said to me, "FORDY, what do you think of the Glide Ride 4 not being renewed?" So I'm only basing it on that. I don't have any inside knowledge or anything like that about it. It'd be a shame if they don't continue the shoe. I think it's a phenomenal shoe, the Glide Ride 3. If you can't afford the Super Blast, and get the Glide Ride 3. Do just a fantastic job. Is there room for the Glide Ride in the lineup? Yeah, I think there is. I think it's a cheaper alternative to the Super Blast. And I also think it works well for somebody, maybe a thicker set runner, who needs that sort of stable platform with that rocker in it. I think that works as well. Is it as soft as some of the competitors? No, but I think that's actually a good thing because you do need a shoe that's different to your Morphors and your Triumph 21s. The Triumph 21 is a really nice blend, but it could even be too soft for some people. So the Glideway 3 was that sort of slightly firmer Triumph 21 for me, and I think that's where it works because it is that fraction more stable and that fraction more forgiving if you're a bit bigger. So yes, I would say the Glideway 4 does have a place, mainly because the Super Blast is so damn expensive. I think that's probably a fair way to put it. Right. Ordered a pair. So Charlie, evening Charlie. Ordered a pair of the Rocket X2. Yeah, I mean they're a great shoe. I've not had the chance to run mine recently. The Rocket X2. I love them. Keep seeing them in the garage. Um, would love to be wearing them at the Great North Run this weekend. Although it's probably a good thing that I'm not wearing them because I'm a bit lame. But yeah, they're a cracking shoe. They really are. And it's one of those things. This is the thing with Hoka. Everybody gets so psyched up about all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, the marketing department stops. No one hears about them again. So I'm a big fan of the shoe. I really am. Yeah. If you said to me, 40, you can wear any shoe tomorrow for a 10K, I'd probably stick them on. Fantastic. Lauren is looking forward to the Great North Run, and she's going to see us at the Shakeout on Saturday. That's awesome. So I shall see you there. Rob's never run a half marathon, but always watched the Great North Run on TV. What's the best way to get an entry for next year? I think I've answered that. So David Turner, I referred to this comment earlier. You haven't mentioned. So if you didn't see, we put on sale because of you lot last Monday Cowboy Up t-shirts, and I nearly fell off my chair when I saw how many people bought them. You guys are mental, and you should all seek help. But thank you very much to every person who bought a Cowboy Up t-shirt. You can go over the 40 Run store and you can support this channel by buying a Cowboy Up t-shirt, and then you can wear it. They're casual t-shirts. They're not technical t-shirts. We're not going to make a technical one of it. Because they're just to wear, when you're traveling up on the train or to put on after a race is, I think, where they're a good thing. That's how they came about the Cowboy Up top. Again, I go back to the story. We got the Cowboy Up t-shirts made for Amsterdam Marathon. The three of us, me, Tobe, and Si, did Amsterdam Marathon, and Tobe didn't want to wear a t-shirt, and so we made him this t-shirt, and then me and Si got matching because that for Tobe is just he hates it, right? So we then we then all wore the same t-shirts, and we made sure he got a medium. Now, medium is a little bit too small for Tobe in that casual t-shirt that we got him, and we looked amazing. So we had a cracking picture. I think it might even still be on Instagram. But of the three of us, we was having lunch after the Amsterdam Marathon. We all had our Cowboy Up t-shirts on. So that's the story of the Cowboy Up top. It's because of Speedgoat that we got them made. And somebody mentioned it last week. So there we go. So yeah, you can buy them. They're on the store. Thanks very much, David, for the plug. Appreciate it. Mix, had the Boston 12s a few weeks now on your recommendation. Absolutely loved them. They get better. They do get better, actually. Speedgoat wore his yesterday. Absolutely loves the shoe. And I've got to give a shout out to Speedgoat because I do hammer him from time to time. But the boy ran 31 miles this weekend. He did 18 on Saturday, and it was licking along some of that. And then he went out and pushed out 13 miles yesterday. We was on for about 147 yesterday until we helped that other runner out. Might have been a bit quicker, but we helped that runner out yesterday. We got in trouble. So to push that out, 31 miles in your legs of a weekend is impressive. And don't forget, he's not training for anything. But yeah, he ran the Boston 12s. He said to me, he opened the boot up on when we got to because he drove in yesterday. He kindly gave me a lift. And he opened up the boot. He said, Super Blast or Boston 12. So I said, Boston 12. Such a great shoe. Okay, moving on. Evening 40, evening Ian. Question of zone 2 training. Oh, okay, this is different. What percentage should you be aiming for in zone 2 on a run? I usually manage around 80% as there's normally a hill or two that tips me into zone 3. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know you as a runner. I don't know where you're at in terms of, all the other stuff. Okay, right. To caveat to all that. But yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, if you're going out to do zone 2, ideally you do as much as you can, All right. Again, this is people get obsessed with these stats and doing things to exactly the point, running these sessions pinpoint accuracy. The point is that that zone two training is there, so you're building your aerobic base, okay, and you're doing it comfortably, and you're doing it in a state that's optimal, right? If you're out of that a little bit, it's not really going to make any difference. So if you look over your again, and this is the thing, you need to look at over the whole 16, 18, 20, whatever week plan that you're in or block of training that you're in, you want to look at it over that instead of on the individual run, I would say. Look at it in a sort of wider picture. So if you're a little bit more on one run in zone two and then less in the next, it's not really going to make much difference. It's all about consistency, especially with heart rate training. Obviously, having the right tech helps as well. But running to heart rate and running in the correct zones and all that sort of stuff is all about consistency and being able to consistently run within those zones and not creep in or creep out of those zones. So that's the key to it. So I wouldn't necessarily dive in that deep. I would just say, okay, I ran 80 whatever percent of the run. That's good. Well done. We move on. And try and be as consistent as you can at running in that zone. Because unless you like live on Southend seafront, the world's not flat, right? And things are going to you're going to have to stop for traffic or whatever. Unless you're on a track or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? So don't overthink it. I think is the key to it. Just make sure that you get consistent at running there. I noticed you had your run number upside down. Was there a reason? Yeah, I'm a rebel. What are you going to do about it? That's busy. And you gave it a 9 out of 10. What the rating for the race? 9 out of 10. I gave that race yesterday 9 out of 10. In terms of my rating, if you've not seen the vlog, it's up. I gave the race a rating of 9 out of 10, and I gave that for the volunteers, the marshals on calls, and the St John's ambulance. That's why I gave that 9 out of 10, because those people yesterday were incredible. There was a lot of people getting into a lot of trouble, and I saw that firsthand. As I said to you, I helped somebody out. And those people were amazing. In fact, actually, I take it back. I give it 100 out of 10, because those volunteers yesterday were brilliant. The people getting us into our pens, the people giving us our water, the people looking after us out on course. I'm talking all of them, St John's ambulance, everybody, all the marshals. They were fantastic yesterday, because that heat caught a lot of people out. And that's why I gave it a high rating. There we go. Evening 40, evening Pete. Peter Mitchell. But Pete Mitchell, isn't that Maverick? Evening 40, just wondering if you have any shoe recommendations for the big runner for a daily trainer. Just refer to it, the Glidewire 3. You can pick them up cheap. Try that one. I think that'll do you just fine. Why didn't Speedgoat strip? Because that's not Speedgoat. Speedgoat doesn't do things like that. He's sensible. He's not an idiot like me. Evening 40, ran the Beast half marathon yesterday down at Corfe Castle. Nearly died. New Forest Marathon this weekend. Hope it's cool. It's not going to be cooler, I don't think. I think it's going to be warmer. But that sounds hilly. Am I wrong? Does that sounds hilly? I'm just going to have a sip of drink. But yeah, talk about yourself for 2 seconds. We've got to stay hydrated in this time of year. And every time of year. Yeah, that sounds hilly. Let me know. Sounds very, very hilly. Good luck, though, for this weekend. I think it's going to be a tough ask in this weather. Well, we had a follow up from the demand for a Cowboy Up t-shirt. Will there be a Simon giving a Scott? No. Good idea. I mean, we can make t-shirts out of everything, can't we? But the Cowboy Up ones are a special. I might even put them on the website and say limited edition because it's just kind of funny. So yeah, if you want to support everything we do, come buy a Cowboy Up t-shirt and wear it at Pride. Wear it at Tesco's. What are they going to do about it? Barbara. I was going to run the Great North Run, but my son is taking me to Cyprus, so I had to defer. Put it on my list again. Yeah, I think life's life, isn't it? I'm really looking forward to the Great North Run. It's such a good race. Not one to run a time or anything like that. It's just an amazing buzz. It's amazing. what's the best way to describe it? What's the best way to describe it? It's I don't know, it's the whole atmosphere. It's a slightly later start this year. It's 11 o'clock. I don't know how that's going to impact people because obviously you've got to think about. Well, I know it's only half hour, but like it sounds funny, but some people like may need some food or something before then. Do you see what I mean? So I think you got to think about that fueling. Yeah, it's a funny one starting a bit later, has a knock-on effect. I think it's going to be busy as well. So yeah, I don't know. It's but despite all those sort of niggles, it is whatever way you look at it, it's a fantastic race. It's one of my favourites of the year. It really is. And as I said, this year's going to be epic because we're doing this brand new, shakeout run, which we hope to do every year and build on it and all that sort of stuff. So there we go. Gary has bought his cowboy out t-shirt. What a legend. Evening, Simon. He says he's late to the party. Don't worry, you've still got a couple of minutes to hang out. So, what else? What's this? Speaker. A lot of love for Speaker again tonight. But do we should get Speaker on here one night, shouldn't we? Just for a laugh, really. I'd love it if Speaker was training for a mile race. Oh, imagine that if he was actually training for something. Can't say any more about that. Just in case Hayden's listening. Where are we? The Hobbit, he likes to listen to these things. Penny, I had the Speed 3 for marathon training in the spring. What is a good alternative super shoe? I'd have a look at the Boston 12. Definitely look at the Boston 12. I think that's it's probably about as close as you're going to get, if not slightly better, dare I say it. I think it's a little bit more. The Speed 3 is a fantastic shoe. It really is. I downplay it, but it really is. It's just the Boston 12 this year. I think in terms of durability, usability, just overall, the only thing that lets it down is the upper. I think I'll tell you what would be really cool, but I don't think they'd do it. Is like the Boston 12 with a strung upper. I think that'd be pretty awesome. But the upper's probably the only thing that really lets that shoe down on it. It's a shame it was not a little bit more like the Adidas SL. So yeah, so that'd be pretty cool. What videos we got coming out this week? Thinking about it, I think have we got the cruiser one coming out? We might have a max stack video this week. I can't remember what we've got loaded up. Remember, I did say to you we're stepping back, we're pulling back, so we're not publishing every day in September. I'm trying to take a step back. So I can't remember. I don't think there is a video tomorrow. I think on Wednesday it might be the one about max stack daily trainings. So check that out. But yeah, just a bit of a spoiler, bit of a heads up. We're in September. We're scaling back the number of videos we publish because I'm too busy and I want to take a break from it all. Oh, right. This is a good question to sort of wrap us up on. Unless you guys shove anything else in the comments. Are you disappointed by the Prime X2 strung? Hang on. Are you disappointed by the Prime X Strung 2 not living up to the early hype? I think that's probably in reference to Thomas from Believe in the Run's review, which I recommend you all go and watch if you're interested in the Adidas Prime X Strung 2. I think, and he quite openly admits that he hyped everybody up for that shoe, and he tested that or tried it on or ran in it. I believe at the running event in Texas last year, and that's what got him so excited with the Prime X2 strung. And I think if you cut him a bit of slack, I think I can understand why. Because let me just grab him. Podcast people, I'm holding the shoe up again. So if you think about it, you've got this Light Strike Pro, these 3 layers. You've got 2 carbon infused plates in there, effectively acting as a spring. Because you've got like this, I can't remember what they call it, like core bit of foam here, which is like of a softer material. So you've got like a plate either side there, and that's like acting as a spring. And you've got 50 mil stack here of Light Strike Pro, and you've got a new strung upper, which works well, let's say, in terms of the strung uppers, because we know that works on X1. So they would have only made that better. So you've got all of that into a shoe, and I understand why he got so excited, because even on paper, you think, all right, put the stack to one side because it's completely bonkers. But if it comes together, it would work well, right? So that was that. So I get why he was so hyped up. But now I have the shoe in hand. I understand why he was so excited about it, right? That said, I know he's now disappointed mainly because I think the weight is his biggest issue. And I understand it because this is a heavy shoe, even in hand, holding it here, it is a heavy, heavy shoe. Okay. So I get that. So am I disappointed? No, because I always try and hopefully you've seen that by now on the channel, but I always try and take my own view on it, and I rarely watch reviews of a shoe before I reviewed it. I will watch them afterwards if I feel like watching it. Sometimes I won't. And again, I've always said this. I'm openly honest about these sort of things. I only really watch Believe in the Run and Kafuzi shoe reviews. That's not to be disrespectful to anybody else. Love Andy Forrester Dean, love Benny's running, love Aubrey, and people like that. That's not being disrespectful. That's purely a time management thing, right? So I really do watch them, but I did watch Thomas's and Meg and the team because of what he'd said about the shoe. So that's why I watched his review. But am I disappointed? No, because I've still got to try the shoe myself, and I will objectively look at the shoe, review it based on my own opinion. So let's see. Maybe I will be disappointed. Maybe I'll be the outliner and maybe get like really excited about the shoe. Who knows? Let's see. Let's get it out there. I'm going to be in them tomorrow. Let's see, people. How about a present day equivalent of the Speed 1 and 2? Bearing in mind I bought the 3 was a bit different. Still go for the Boston. Yes, go for the Boston 12, Marcus. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I only know of 2 or 3 people out of all the comments that we've had on the videos on the Adidas Boston 12, and we've had a lot of comments and a lot of views on some of those videos. And I think I've only seen literally got count them on your hand comments about the shoe in a negative way, and they all, funnily enough, based even what I just said a minute ago, they all refer to the upper. So I don't think I've seen much bad opinion about the shoe. Is it overhyped? I don't think it is, because it was never expected to be a good shoe because 10 and 11 was so bad. I was one of the first who came out and said that I was looking forward to it, and it did blow me away, and I called it early. I said that this is, one of the best shoes of the year, if not the best. But yeah, so I would really, really recommend going for the Boston 12. And I think that's a great way, really, to sort of wrap tonight's show up. As I said, we've got a busy week this week, people. We've got the not live stream on Friday. That's a pre-record, just to remind you of the Great North Run special. If you're running the Great North Run, listen to that as you travel up or travel down. Then we've got the Shakeout Run on Saturday with Brooks and Start Fitness. That's taking place at midday. Check out the website, fordyruns.com /shakeout for that. Then we've got a live version of this show after that. So that's like more of a Q&A, I think it will be. So that's come along for that. And then the guys are heading to the pub at 4. Then we've got the race day. We've got a meet up at about 9:15 at Exhibition Park. Make sure you come along and say hi if you are at the Great North Run. I've then effectively got a week off, and then we're going to be heading to Berlin. So it's all coming really thick and fast. Hopefully I can stay in one piece, which would be really nice. I'm back to Monaco this week. I'm going to go now and do 10 minutes of stretching on the TV, see if that helps, and then do some icing as well. I don't know if I should do stretching and then icing or not. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, I'll Google it or check with monitor or wherever I should. But I'm icing and stretching and doing all the best I can to try and get me to the start line in Berlin in one piece. So yes, thank you very much to everybody. Again, this show only works because you guys tune in and we have a chat. So thank you very much to everybody. Thank you very much. You brought Cowboy up too, yeah. It's very kind of you to support the channel like that. And I think that's probably it. So I look forward to seeing some of you this weekend. Take care out in that sunshine. It's going to be bloody hot. So take care of yourselves, and I shall see you. We are back next week, so I'll see you on Monday.